Okay, today we're diving into something pretty amazing. The secret formula behind modern perfume. It's this incredible story of how ancient art, flowers and oils, crashes right into high-tech software. We're going to see how a flower petal basically becomes a pixel. So here's the big question, right? How does something so natural, something crafted from flowers and oils for centuries, turn into this massive global billion-dollar industry? I mean, think about it. You go from a single delicate flower petal to millions of identical bottles on shelves all over the world. The answer? Well, it's a really cool mix of art and, believe it or not, data. For centuries, making perfume was all about nature. It was a totally physical, hands-on craft. We're talking about these really slow, super painstaking methods like enfleurage, where you'd literally press flowers into fat just to capture their scent. Or distillation, boiling plants to get that fragrance steam. It was pure art, and it was completely tied to what you could grow and harvest. And the ingredients were exactly what you'd expect, things you could literally see and touch. We're talking rose petals, jasmine, rich sandalwood, myrrh, all this stuff pulled directly from the earth. And while that's beautiful and artistic, it also creates a huge problem the second you decide you want to make more than just a few bottles. And that right there is the modern scaling challenge. How you go from that one perfect bottle in a tiny workshop to a million more, all smelling exactly the same. All while juggling costs, crazy complex supply chains, and a ton of regulations. Let me tell you, it's not easy. In fact, it's known for being incredibly difficult. And this is where a lot of companies stumble. They think, okay, let's throw some tech at the problem. But it often just makes things worse. Get this. A staggering 54% of the big software projects that are supposed to fix this mess, they actually take longer than planned. So instead of solving the problem, you're just adding more delays and spending more money. And okay, let's say the project finally gets done. Even then, the results can be, well, pretty disappointing. Just look at this chart. Only a small fraction of companies actually get all the benefits they were hoping for. The big takeaway here is really important. Just buying a piece of fancy, expensive software isn't some magic wand. It's not a solution on its own. And that's because scaling up isn't just about cranking a lever to make more stuff. All of a sudden, you're trying to manage thousands of different formulas. You're tracking raw materials coming from dozens, maybe hundreds of suppliers all over the world. And you have to deal with this crazy, tangled web of international safety and labeling rules. It's chaos, pure and simple. So how in the world do you manage all that chaos? Well, you need something to act like a conductor for this crazy orchestra. You need a digital conductor. A single central system that can bring every single piece of the business together, from the moment an ingredient arrives to the final sale. And that system has a name, Enterprise Resource Planning, or just ERP. The easiest way to think about it is like the central nervous system for a company. It's this big suite of software that connects absolutely everything. Your inventory, your production line, quality controls, sales, even finance. They all start speaking the same language, all inside one unified system. So what does this digital conductor actually do on the factory floor? Well, it's the brain of the operation. It creates the production orders, it automates all those boring, repetitive tasks, it sets up quality checks, it keeps an eye on inventory, telling you when you're running low, and maybe most importantly, it gives managers this real-time dashboard so they can see exactly what's happening everywhere at a glance. Okay, so let's actually put this system to the test. Let's follow a single bottle of perfume on its journey through this modern digital factory. We're going to go from the secret formula, locked in a computer, all the way to the finished product ready to ship. This whole process really breaks down into 4 main stages, and all of them are handled by that central ERP system. First, you've got to manage the formula and the recipe. Then you move into batch production and tracking. After that, it's all about quality control. And finally, you have to manage all the inventory and warehousing. Let's walk through them. All right, step 1, it all begins with the recipe. The ERP system is like a digital vault, and inside it securely stores thousands of these super complex formulas. This is absolutely critical because it ensures that the bottle of perfume you make in January smells exactly the same as the one you make in July.
Consistency is everything for a brand, and this is how you guarantee it when you're making millions of units.
Next up is batch production. So the system gives every single batch of perfume its own unique code. Think of it like a birth certificate. This creates this perfect, unbroken chain of data. Now, why is that so important? Well, imagine there's a problem. With this system, a company can take one single bottle off a shelf and trace it all the way back, not just to the factory, but to the exact shipment of raw lavender or sandalwood that it was made from. That's traceability. But look, making stuff isn't just about, making it. You have to make it safely, you have to make it legally, and as one source put it, dealing with all the complex safety standards and regulations, it can cause a real headache. And they're not wrong. One tiny mistake can lead to a huge product recall and millions in fines. And this is where digital quality control becomes a lifesaver. These systems let you build automated checks right into the assembly line. So you can program it to, say, pull every 100th bottle for a check. You can make it so the system requires a worker to take a picture to prove something was done right. Or you can have it automatically flag an alert if a measurement is even slightly off. The point is, you're catching problems before they become big problems. It's proactive, not reactive. And last but not least, you've got inventory. A modern ERP totally automates this. It keeps real-time track of every single ingredient, every bottle, every cap. You can set up smart rules so the system just automatically reorders more sandalwood oil when you start running low. And what that means is the production line never, ever has to stop just because somebody forgot to place an order. Okay, but the story doesn't stop once the perfume is in the bottle. Not at all. This whole digital ecosystem actually reaches all the way out to the customer. And it's completely changing how brands sell not just a product, but an experience. I mean, just think about it for a second. When you buy a really nice perfume, you're not just buying scented liquid in a fancy bottle, are you? No, you're buying the experience that comes with it. That feeling of exclusivity, the sense of urgency around a limited edition, a personal connection to the brand. And guess what? That experience is also managed by technology, this time with something called a CRM, or Customer Relationship Management System. So how do they do it? Well, the CRM is like the brand's memory. It tracks what you've bought, what you like, your whole history. This is how a brand can identify its biggest fans and say, hey, you get early access to our next limited edition drop. It's how they automate those new product just launched emails. It's all about using data to build a real relationship that goes way beyond just one single purchase. So when we step back and look at the whole picture, where are we? We've seen how technology has taken this deeply personal, hands-on art form and figured out how to share it with the entire world, all without sacrificing the incredible precision that made it special in the first place. There's a great quote that says, "Our sense of smell is the most powerful of the five senses." And because of that, perfumery isn't going away anytime soon. And that's so true. That human craving for beautiful scents, that's permanent. But the way we make them, the way we sell them, that has been completely and forever changed by technology. Which brings us to one last big question to think about. In a world where art and data are so tightly woven together, what does it even mean for something to be handcrafted anymore? Maybe the hand isn't physically mixing the ingredients now, but it's the hand that designs the formula, that builds the system, that guides the whole process. And maybe that's the new artistry. Something to think about.